Guys, before I continue with this video, please, there is something I want you all to do for me. Like this video, press the like button and subscribe below, alright? Yes, thank you so much if you are part of this family from the onset, because we are 16,000 as you can see. Let's hit 20,000 by the end of August. Thank you so much for understanding. Yes, we can do that. So today's video, I'm going to be talking about studies in Spain. I want to talk about how you can apply for a school in Spain, the documents, how you can apply for visas, the document, and of course, everything that involves Spain in terms of residence permit. Alright, so it will just be a general video. Now, the first thing we need to start with is there are things you need to understand if you want to apply for a Spanish university, or if you intend to move to Spain. Either you are coming from Kenya, Ghana, Nigeria, Cameroon, South Africa, Uganda, or which part of Africa, alright? I focus most of the times on Africa because I know there are other people watching me from India and they also have their own things, alright? As soon as you apply for a university, the process of application is almost the same, but the documents differ. If you are watching me from Pakistan, India, Nepal, UK, or which place, just know that the documents may differ, but the process is almost the same. Now, if you are watching me, understand that Spain is not a country where English is the first language. I hope you understand. Everybody knows this thing. If you didn't know, most Spanish universities will teach in Spanish when it comes to bachelor's degree programs, alright? Just few of them will be teaching bachelor's in English, especially the private universities, mostly the business schools, alright? I hope you understand what I'm saying. Then, most of their universities, most Spanish schools, I'm talking about their universities, most Spanish schools will teach in English language, especially only at the master's and PhD level. Now, what do you need to do is you need to go to a university. First of all, check the programs and check the language of instruction. Alright, so that you know what you are going to be doing. Because you cannot be applying for bachelor's and you are looking at a university that teach in Spanish, except that you have the proficiency in Spain, or you have the language certificate to show that you are proficient in Spanish. I hope you understand. But if you don't, make sure you look elsewhere. Now, another thing I want you to understand is that if you are applying for Spanish universities, be rest assured that business schools or private universities are expensive, especially business schools, alright? The business schools I'm talking about, the EU business schools and other business schools in Spain. I hope you understand. But it is relatively easy to enter a business school in Spain than a state university. I hope you understand. But however, that doesn't cancel the fact that there are other cheap universities in Spain. For example, the University of Granada, which you can pay like maximum 830 euros a year. You also have the University of Valencia, you can pay maximum 2,600 euros a year. Or let me just say an average, not the maximum anyways, because some programs are not the same. For example, pharmacy, dentistry, and medicine are expensive than other programs like history, philosophy, and maybe economics. I hope you get the point. So it is an average tuition fee, but you can always find something between these amounts I'm mentioning. Then you also have the University of Santiago de Compostela, alright? That's a university in Spain. You can pay maximum or in between 1,600. There will be programs for 1,600. And there will be other programs that are more expensive than that. So that is something you should understand. There are more universities I will not be mentioning here, but you can always check all of that. I think with time I'm going to bring them one after the other and I elaborate on them on how you can go about the application. I'm just waiting for admissions to start. Now, moving further, when you check a university in Spain, make sure you check the requirements and you check the tuition fee. After you apply, the next thing you need to do is to apply for a student visa. But before you apply for these schools in Spain, state universities in Spain, alright, like the University of Barcelona, the University of Madrid, the University of Valencia, I already talked about that, alright. There are cheap ones, there are expensive ones, but maximum sometimes is between 5,800 to 6,000 euros. But I already gave you a list of cheap universities. Now, what you need to do is to supply the required documents they need. If you are applying for a bachelor's program, supply your high school documents, alright. If you are applying for masters, you have to add your bachelor's degree transcript, alright, alongside the attestation or the certificate, and again add your motivation letter and your curriculum vitae. Very, very important. Most of the time, some schools will even charge you an application fee. That is something you should pay attention to. And also remember that you may be applying for a university that don't need a lot of students and the rejection rate may be high. So I will always say that don't go crowd or don't try to apply for big schools in Spain. Look into the remote areas and look for universities that are not that renowned, all right? Though all certificate matters, certificates from the European Union are recognized all around the world, and Spain is a member. All right, so you don't need to bother yourself. Just locate a university that can size your pocket. I hope you understand that your money is equivalent to that. Now when you locate this university, you check the requirements, you apply. All right, like I said, you need all those documents in PDF scan copies. Most schools in Spain will not ask for you to like mail the documents to them via a post office or DHL or maybe an international courier service. All right, after sometimes it takes maximum 1 month, some schools even 5 days for business schools. All right, there is a guy I'm working on his admission, he got his own 5 days after that. But remember, some schools will also ask you for an interview. All right, they want to know your ambitions, they want to know what you want to do, and in those cases you don't need to be surprised, just give in. Now when you finish with that, you need to go to the visa application stage. All right, now the visa application stage involves a lot of documents that you need to submit, and I will be giving you one after the other. The first one being your international passport. There was one time I was talking to a subscriber and he was like, Milton, my passport is still ready, please, I want to start the process. No, I will not encourage anybody to start a process, especially when you want to apply for a school abroad where your passport is not in your palms. All right, get your documents ready before you start. Now your international passport, very important. Make sure if you are applying for a school, it should be at least 1 year to expiring date. All right, I will not even advise somebody, me as a person, I cannot use a passport that is just 1 year 5 months to the end. I will get a new one before I continue from there, because circumstances, things do happen. All right, now after the international passport, you need a medical insurance. Make sure the medical insurance covers everything. In case you are sick, in case you have an accident, which is not what we are sharing here, all right, but just make sure your medical insurance covers everything. Please, when sending somebody or when buying an insurance, make sure you go to a legit company. Someone complained to me of people scamming him or something, giving him a fake insurance, which he was denied a visa. Be careful out there. Now, the medical insurance is the document you need alongside your international passport. Again, you need a return ticket. When you are booking a flight, because these are the documents you need to submit to the embassy, you need to go book a flight and also show the aller and the retour. The retour is the return ticket. That's how it is called in French, all right? So now, when you book these tickets, make sure you show all of them to the embassy. In case you succeed and you are moving to Spain, first of all, when you are booking, tell them that you are going for studies so that they will tell you what to do in case you are leaving. I hope you understand. They will always give you a refund. I know agencies that will always refund part of the money in case and tell you the documents to bring. Okay, so that you know. Now, the ticket, the passport, the medical insurance, there is also a very important document, your admissions letter. Admissions letter is the document given to you from the university. You need this document to apply for a visa, all right? Without it, you don't have a reason to move to Spain. You must show this document that this is my reason, I'm going to Spain to study, before the embassy can give you any student visa or student permit. All right, now the medical certificate is also very important. Remember, the medical insurance is different from a medical certificate. Medical certificate is the one you go to the hospital, or maybe you need to check the Spanish embassy to verify if they have specialized doctors, because some other embassies do that. You go to a particular doctor, they scan you, they check everything, check tuberculosis, check your high blood, check HIV and all the rest. Then they give you a medical certificate to present to the embassy. Some embassies have their doctors, so verify. If they don't have, go to state hospitals. All right, recognize state hospitals. I hope you understand. Now, you also need a criminal record. Criminal record, I think it is called a police character or police record or report. All right, this document is to show the embassy that you have never been involved in a crime or have never been locked up or stuff like that. That is why as a youth you have to avoid issues that will put you into problem and carry you to the police, because assuming you have been locked up before and your names have been entered into the system, you cannot travel again. Traveling will be difficult for you. You can travel, but it is going to, they will be asking a lot of questions, a lot. So avoid these questions and avoid problems at all right? Now, the other document you need is proof of residency, where you live. They may ask you where you live and what is the proof that you are going to return back to your home country. So also prove that maybe you were working, you have a family and stuff like that. You need these documents to move to Spain, all right? Now, also understand, before I forget, remember most of these private universities may offer you a scholarship because the tuition fee is very expensive, all right? Why public universities may not? There are some few public universities that have government or that have scholarships. The government will give subsidies to international students, but remember that most scholarships will be found only in private universities, and not all the private universities, by the way. Now, proof of funds is very important. I already talked about return ticket. So now the last document we need is the proof of funds. Now, how do you get the proof of funds to Spain? Remember, proof of funds is a document to show the officials or embassy or consulate that you have enough money to take care of yourself. No government wants liabilities, all right? So you must fight for yourself alone, and proof of funds is the only document. You need to show money in your bank account. And how much is the money? 600 euros a month times 12, because you are applying for a visa for 1 year. It's going to give you around 7,200 euros. But now with the recent increase or problems in Europe, remember you need to double this money. Make sure the money is like 7,500 plus in case you are still to move to Spain. All right, just make sure it is like that. And if you check the cost of living in Spain, it might have risen, all right, because of the crisis we all know. I don't want to mention them here. So make sure you put all of this in order before you go for your visa interview. For proof of funds, I talked about this in one of my videos. You can check my YouTube channel or just search my name on YouTube or type proof of funds on to study in Spain, and the video will show. You will see my face on the video. All right, then you can watch the video and decide on how to go about the proof of funds. The best way is to put money in your account, all right? Get the bank statement and other possible ways, but there are various other ways I mentioned in that particular video. So without wasting time, you have to watch the video to know. Now, someone was asking if it's possible to go to Spain on a 30 days visa, which is a student visa, and of course remain in Spain. It is possible, but sometimes it's very trickish. Make sure you contact people who are well informed about the process before you carry on, because if you contact people that don't know anything, it is going to be difficult for you. That is what I noticed. It's going to be difficult for you. Some people don't know anything, but they will give you wrong information. Now, for those in Cameroon, I believe the Spanish embassy is found somewhere in Bastos, Yaoundé. You can verify. For Nigerians, you know it is in Nigeria already. You know, I don't know if it's in Lekki or in Abuja or Lagos. Verify, please. Then for those in Ghana, of course, there is a Spanish embassy in Ghana. You can verify that. All right, then those in Kenya, it is found somewhere around the Kenyatta National Hospital or somewhere, because I know a lot of things. All right, I don't want to mention everything here. So those in Kenya, you can check around that area. Remember, there is a visa application fee. You have to apply for it. There is an application form you have to fill, all right, because you are applying for a student visa. It is a tricky type of visa. You don't want to move to Spain and start causing havoc. So they need to make sure that everything is in order, and the admissions letter is very important. Those from Cameroon, watching me from Cameroon, I think before you start their visa process, write the embassy in Cameroon to verify if you can actually apply, because there is someone I'm working on his stuff. The school in particular told us that he cannot apply for student visa now, that the slots are full, all right? The school told us that the Spanish embassy in Cameroon cannot give us a student visa now because the slots are full. Remember, every year there is a particular percentage or number of students each country around the world will supply to a particular European country. All right. Before the spring 2023, they already know how many students are leaving Africa to Spain. So as soon as that maximum is full, they cannot take again anymore. All right. This is something international students don't know. That's why I always insist that apply for your visa early. All right. Try to get your admissions, apply as early as possible, all right? There are possibilities you can switch. For those who want to study Spanish language, it is possible. There are universities in Spain that offers that particularly, all right? Then for those who want to study things like MBA, Masters in Business Administration, Spanish universities, especially the private schools, are very good in that. But expect tuition fee to skyrocket, all right? Because most of these schools, they are business schools and they are private schools. You already know how they are. Now, for cost of living, you will need at least 900 euros in Spain to spend per month, all right? Like I told you before, you could need like maybe 500, 600 euros, but now the cost of living has increased. I'm just passing this information so you know. You need at least in between 900 euros, 600 to 900 euros to spend a month. So you have to really calculate how much you are putting in your bank account. Remember, more money in your bank account, advantage is you to grab the student visa. All right, it takes maximum. Sometimes the student visa doesn't delay. Maximum, maybe 2 weeks, 1 month. Some people are very lucky to even get after 1 week. I was telling someone that I got a Turkish visa sometime back. In 2 days, the person thought I was joking, but there were others I met at the embassy. They have been coming and going for 2 weeks. They didn't get it. So it all depends. Remember to plan yourself well. There are good cities to stay in or to live in Spain. You have cities like Cadiz, Valencia, Seville, all right? Live around these cities, and remember, big cities like Barcelona and Madrid will be expensive than all these other petty cities. Though Valencia and Seville are not petty cities, but I want to tell you that it is going to be expensive if you consider living in all these areas. Now, accommodation. I would say consider asking your school accommodation because it's very, very important for you to stay in a student residential hall. All right. If you are trying to find accommodation outside of your campus as a new student, a new international student, it will cost you a lot. All right. And remember, the price range for accommodation is between like 250 to like 600. It depends on what you need. All right. Remember, you are paying for what you can afford. New apartments, nice apartment, expensive than old apartment. We all know that. All right, so expect anything in between that. Now, if you can I work in Spain as an international student? Of course, you are going to the European Union and you are liable to a work contract. All right, as soon as they give you the visa, when you arrive Spain, you can work. But remember, there is a limitation. All right, there is a limitation. Probably the visa that you are getting to move to Spain, or that you get to move to Spain, will grant you like 40 hours a week, but I'm not very certain. All right, even if it gives you 40 hours a week, you will not be able to work all of that, because remember, you are going to school. Studies is the priority here. Make sure you put studies first before the job, because if you don't, if you fail any course, you are carrying it over. But remember, if you are studying for a very high tuition fee, like in a private school, and you are carrying a course over, is dangerous for your academic career. All right, so these are some of the things you should put into consideration before you apply for a student visa to Spain. I hope this will help somebody.